Hello friends, welcome to Swapnil Sayas. In the previous video, we have talked of length about the issue of Naxalism. In this video, we will be covering another issue that has threatened the security, sovereignty and national interest of India. The issue that has been a cause behind the death of innumerable citizens of the country and a prime minister and ex-chief of army staff, the Khalistan issue. Let's get started. When the British East India Company started its conquest of Indian provinces, one province remained elusive, the Punjab. In those times, the Punjab was divided into several small kingdoms known as Misl. Together they formed a Sikh confederacy which was founded by Banda Singh Bahadur, who also established the Khalsa in Punjab. Banda Singh was captured and killed by Mughals in Delhi in 1716. Post him, there was only one strong Sikh emperor who ruled Punjab, Maharaja Ranjit Singh, popularly known as Sher-e-Punjab. He dissolved the Misl and created a unified Sikh empire in 1799. It comprised of regions in present-day India and Pakistan. One significant thing about Ranjit Singh is that it was he who gained the possession of Kohinoor diamond from Shuja Shah Durrani of Afghanistan. He ruled the empire until his death in 1839. After Ranjit Singh's death, there was lot of infighting among the Sikhs and the empire weakened. The East India Company found it to be lucrative opportunity to expand its frontiers. The first Anglo-Sikh War was fought in 1845. The Sikhs lost the war much because of the treachery of own commanders. However, the British did not capture the whole of Punjab and let it to be ruled by Maharaja Dulip Singh, son of Maharaja Ranjit Singh, who was only 7 years old then. After the Second Anglo-Sikh War of 1849, the Sikhs lost Punjab to the British, who ruled it till the independence of India in 1947. The British also took the Kohinoor from the Sikh emperor to London, and it is now present on the crown of the British emperor. The independence of the country was accompanied by its partition into two dominions of India and Pakistan. The Punjab province was also partitioned into two: East Punjab, which remained with India, and West Punjab, which went to Pakistan. Due to the communal holocaust caused by Jinnah's communal two-nation theory and Radcliffe's arbitrary drawing of lines on map, the Hindus and Sikhs of Pakistan-owned Punjab migrated to Indian regions of Punjab, Haryana and Himachal Pradesh among others. It was in this period that the Sikh became a prominent community in Indian Punjab. However, it was a majority only in Ludhiana. Thus, the narrative that Punjab was traditionally a Sikh majority area is a lie and propaganda at best. As a matter of fact, Sikhs were present throughout India. Take for instance, a major seat of Sikhism, Takht Shri Patna Sahib, is in Bihar state. Hazur Sahib is in Maharashtra. However, when the clouds of partition loomed large upon the subcontinent, it was the Akali Dal which in 1946 passed the resolution declaring Punjab as the homeland of Sikhs. After independence, the Akali Dal began the Punjab Suba movement for the creation of Punjab state within India. However, some radical elements of the Akali Dal later used this movement as a context to raise the demand of separate country, Khalistan. A separate Punjab state was formed in 1966. However, its capital Chandigarh was also the capital of Haryana, and it was given the status as the Union Territory. The Akali Dal, which was in power since the state was created, was defeated in the 1972 State Assembly elections. In 1973, it released the Anandpur Sahib Resolution, which demanded further devolution of powers and autonomy to the state. However, at that time, it did not gather much public attention. But the resolution again came to light in 1982, this time through the proactive leadership of Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale, the leader of Sikh religious institution Damdami Taksal, where Guru Gobind Singh had compiled the Guru Granth Sahib. Not many people knew of Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale till the mid of 1970s. In 1977, the Akali Dal won the Punjab State Assembly elections. It is alleged that post this defeat, Congress and particularly Gyani Zail Singh and Sanjay Gandhi raised Bhindranwale to counter Akali Dal, which had a strong communal base of Sikhs. The idea was to raise a person of communal orientation against the Akali Dal so as to erode its Sikh vote bank and gain power in Punjab. Bhindranwale had a charismatic persona and was communally fanatic. The Congress plan was successful. It won the 1980 Punjab Assembly elections. Bhindranwale quickly rose to prominence in Punjab's political scenario. The Akalis also used Bhindranwale's aggressive version of communalism to revive the Anandpur Sahib resolution and present itself as the guardian of Sikhs' interests. Thanks to the pressure of the Congress government at the centre and the overwhelming support of Gyani Zail Singh, the Home Minister of India, Bhindranwale had no hindrances in raising a cadre of armed men equipped with sophisticated weapons like AK-47. Post the 1981 census, the communal lines in Punjab started getting bolder. The census officials noted the mother tongue of the Hindus as Hindi, despite many of them speaking Punjabi. It was at this juncture that Bhindranwale instigated his followers to drive away Hindus and other communities from Punjab. His armed men mercilessly killed many Hindus. This had repercussions in other parts of the country where the Sikhs were killed by mobs. This built up a pressure on the Congress government, both in Punjab and the centre, to stop Bhindranwale. Bhindranwale had by then occupied the holy seat of Akal Takht in the vicinity of Golden Temple in Amritsar and fortified the premises. He opposed any compromise on the issue of Khalistan. Operation Blue Star, a code name of Indian Army's military action against Bhindranwale. As per the army and government, it started on 5th June 1984. During this time, General Arun Vaidya was the Chief of Army Staff. The commander of the operation was Major General Kuldeep Singh Brar. The army launched the offensive to clear the Golden Temple complex of the terrorists. But these terrorists were trained under no other than a dismissed army officer, Major General Shahabeg Singh, who had joined Bhindranwale. Unable to capture the premises through the infantry soldiers and commandos, the army used tanks and artillery guns. Bhindranwale was killed on 6th June along with Shahabeg Singh and many other terrorists. There was also a huge civilian casualty in crossfire. The army also lost many of its soldiers and commandos. It was hoped that after the death of Bhindranwale, the unrest and communal violence in Punjab would subside. But the opposite happened. The militancy and violence increased, and so does the death figures. President rule was imposed in Punjab in 1987, which lasted for around 5 years. The discontent among the Sikhs led to the assassination of the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi on 31st October 1984 by her two Sikh bodyguards. This was followed by large-scale anti-Sikh riots, especially in New Delhi, where thousands of innocent Sikhs were killed. On 10th August 1986, just within a few months after his retirement, General Arun Vaidya was killed by the terrorists of Khalistan Commando Force in Pune. Though the militancy in Punjab was controlled and ended thanks to the impressive leadership of the then Punjab DGP KPS Gill, the issue of Khalistan never settled completely. Bhindranwale is still admired and even worshipped by some people of Sikh community. A section of Indian diaspora, especially in the West, has kept the issue alive by providing material support and publicity to it. Pakistan's spy agency, Inter Services Intelligence ISI, has also been a proactive instigator and supporter of the Khalistan movement. In recent times, a young chap called Amrit Pal is coming to forefront in attempts to recreate militancy in Punjab. He is said to have inherited the leadership of a group called Waris-de-Punjab and is working under the disguise of Drug Rehabilitation Center to attract youth and hiding place for weapons and ammunition. Currently, Amrit Pal is absconding and Punjab police and central agencies are conducting massive manhunt for him. In retaliation to the action of the Punjab state and Indian government, some members of Sikh diaspora attacked and vandalized the Indian consulates and embassies in cities like San Francisco and London. Some important learning points from this are how parochial political interests have a potential to hamper wider national interest and threaten national security. Religion is a sensitive issue and must be dealt with utmost care by those in power and occupying public offices. If not, it can cause havoc. Also, the rise of self-proclaimed godmen in the country is a dangerous sign, as they conveniently enjoy huge public following and carry a potential to use religion and other narrow identities to create anti-national sentiments. With hostile neighbors like Pakistan and China waiting for every opportunity to break and cut India, it is the responsibility of every Indian citizen to strive towards unity and peace within the country. Friends, hope that you liked the video. Subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to get notifications about the upcoming videos. Jai Hind.